Do you consider yourself a bigger fan than your friends? Do you show up early to the show hoping for the chance to meet your favorite artist? Well, there's this new fan ranking app called JAMM NATION where you can prove to the world you're as big of a fan as you say you are. Just download the app, link your streaming service, and then your streams will automatically populate for each artist you listen to, ranking you on their fans list and even giving you early and exclusive access to things like merch, tickets, and more. That's JAMM Nation. Earn your way to the front row with JAMM Nation today.
Let's go.
I am so happy to welcome Chuck Wimer to the podcast. It's been a while in the planning. I'm so glad we finally got you on the Texas Toast podcast.
Yeah, no doubt. It seems like always something was going on somewhere. So, yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And we got to hang out. Numerous times we've gotten to visit and spend time together. And recently we were in Arlington at the T3R Awards where you did have a nomination there. But you have got Fire in Your Eyes, your current radio release that is charting so good for you. I know you're so happy about its success.
Yeah, we were talking to Dave today to find out if it was time to start looking at the next release, and he's like, "No, I don't think this one's done yet." So, we're still in the top 10 with that one, and we'll see what happens next week. And I don't know, it did far more than I ever thought it was going to do. I never even wanted to release that song, and Dave, smarter man than I am, so he said, "This is the one I want."
Super smart. So tell me about the backstory on that song.
Yeah, the song was never supposed to be written. I was actually co-writing another song at the time, and I got frustrated on that other song, so I put it off to the side, and I just kind of wrote out "Fire in Your Eyes," and then my wife liked it a little bit. She said, "Hey, why don't you play it at some of the shows?" And so we were playing in a spot in Fredericksburg, and it wasn't supposed to get recorded, but the lady who was booking us down there, she said, "Hey, I really want you to record that song. I love that song." I said, "I really want you to pay for it. It's expensive." And so she ran a Kickstarter and funded half the album. And so we kind of felt obligated to put it on the record. And then that was two records ago, 3 now. And we gave Dave a whole 12-song album last year. And he said, "No, I want to do Fire in Your Eyes" from the previous album. So it was like, well.
Don't you like that? Don't you like that when a plan comes together, when it's kind of, and it's nice that you're able to say, okay, I trust this process and I trust this decision.
Yeah, we argued with him about it a little bit, but what it came down to is, ultimately he's been in this business a lot longer than we have. So, you don't hire somebody to do something if you don't trust him to do what you're hiring him to do. And he made the right call on that one, I think. So, yeah.
Exactly. And so I do know that when that one peaks wherever, could be possibly, fingers crossed for number one, you already have, I've listened to your next radio release, Don't Ask Me to Dance. That'll be coming up next, y'all. And that's a really, really super good song.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I wrote that with a buddy of mine out of Indiana, Mikey Good. He does a lot of writing these days. He actually came down and he played in the Texas scene a little bit, but he pretty much has resigned himself to being more of a writer and staying kind of local up in Indiana. And we had fun writing that song. We wanted to make the person, the subject, the primary character. We wanted to make him like a really cocky guy, like, "Hey, don't ask me to dance because, I'm going to win your heart over and it's going to be a horrible thing and whatever." And so we just wanted to make him like really full of himself. And toward the end of the song, we wrapped it up with that one line. And yeah, it came out pretty good. Now me and Jamie are fighting over how we're going to do the video.
I can't wait to see how that turns out. I like that.
Yeah, I want to do like this guy in a leisure suit who's just acting all kinds of confident. And, everybody's looking at him like, "You're not the guy."
That will be fun. So, have you sung all your life? I mean, when did music come into your life and you said, okay, this is going to be my thing?
Well, music's always been a part of my life. I was writing at 16 years old. I've been writing ever since I was 16, all the way through my time in the Army, my time, growing into adulthood and all that stuff. And, but I never really did anything professional with it. I never tried to go stand on stages and, record songs or anything like that. But when I was about 42, my wife was like, "Hey, we're in our 40s now. Let's go see if maybe you want to go try this, see if you like it." Because she knows me. I won't resent her over it, but I'd resent myself for not trying. I'm one of those guys that's like, I hate to hear anybody say, "Oh, I could have done, but never tried." So she looked at me and she's like, "You're going to be that guy. So why don't you go out there and see if you like it?" And I did. I went, I stood on a couple stages and I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. This is a good time." And so we started doing radio. We did it backwards. We did radio first, and then after radio was doing well, then we put a band together, and so now we're making up for lost time as far as getting that audience together and getting some people out there. But we're having a great response everywhere we go. So yeah, so 42. I've been doing this for about 5 years professionally.
And yes, you are a veteran and served in the Army, and thank you for your service. And that reminds me,
My
we've
pleasure.
got a couple of songs I want to talk about because I always dig through the library.
Uh
And
huh.
so I saw, I'm baseball girl, so I saw the baseball cover. I love Home Run.
Thank you, thank you. That was our first top 40 on Texas radio, and that was kind of the marker of okay, we have to do this thing for real. We can't just like I can't just be sitting there, the only guy in the room playing a guitar, and it doesn't bring the whole energy of the song. So that was one of the ones that was kind of okay. This is where we're starting from.
Mhm. And so also fans and those listening can go to streaming services. You have a 5-song EP out called Redemption with some really deep music on there. I do want to talk about Six String Therapy.
Oh wow. Okay, that's
Mhm.
interesting that you would want to talk about that one. That was yeah. That album was made because of that song. I had nowhere else to put it, but that was a song that I wrote when how long ago was that? Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or something like that.
Wow.
And we just had nowhere to put it. And every album that we had put out up to this point was well, that's just too dark to put on that album. It's dealing with things that are a little bit too personal. You don't want to put it on the Just Getting Started album. You don't want to put it on the Doing It My Way. You don't want it. Just didn't fit those other albums. So we decided we were gonna kind of make a darker album, and then we even reached out and we got some outside songs to put on that one as well.
Yes.
Some other artists that were involved in that. Sharice Carver is one of them. She actually has the title
Mhm.
track on that one. Yeah.
Yes. And then you did some co-writing with Bernie Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah. We got one of his songs on there too. That he is, man, that is the most humble dude you ever met in your life. He's always been super nice to me, even when, we just first time we met and he was nice to me just out of the blue. And then I had the opportunity to open for him a little bit later over at Station on 290. And he, just basically started treating me like I was an old friend from the beginning. And then we kind of built a little bit more on that relationship when I went out there and wrote with him for a weekend out at his house. And yeah, I love that dude. We got 4 other songs. One's going to be coming out from us later on this year, and then we'll see what he does with the other 3.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
But in all of your busyness, I know you're playing a lot of shows and the look seems like the tour schedule is going really good.
Yeah, yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Jamie, she said she wishes it could be better, because we pretty much homegrown for all this stuff. We're the only parts of our team that we have is my producer and our radio promoter Dave, and so if, we're out there still looking for a booking manager and stuff like that to help out and get us some of those a little bit more of the opening slots. But we got a few of those coming up this year, and Jamie's been doing a heck of a job with that and getting in touch with the right people. So our schedule's staying busy. We get to do the solo stuff where I get to make a little bit of money, and then the rest of it, we get to go out there and play the band shows and get the guys paid. So
Hmm. Nice. So I want to talk about anybody that follows you on social media. You and Jamie crack me up because, and we're going to get to your full house of the full family you have. You'll crack me up when you go in the truck stop or you go to Bucky's or you're somewhere buying this hilarious stuff. You just don't know. Like, that's just fun.
yeah, well, have you ever read that book, The Five Love Languages? Right, everybody's got
Yes.
that thing
Yes.
that
Yes.
lets them know that somebody cares for them, has affection for them, whatever. And her love language is gifts. And when you take that test at the end, that's actually my least. So I make it a point to go in, and as we're traveling up and down these roads, she's giving me that quality time, and I'm making sure that we fill her tank with gifts. And some of them are dumb, and some of them are hilarious. And then every once in a while you'll get something that's just speaks to her heart. So but the gift itself is what makes her kind of smile. It's not nothing expensive. It's just $10 here, $5 there, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just like little stuffed animal or little snack or little this, little that. I just think keep doing that because like I enjoyed that. It just like, there's just some days where you're just like you're just kind of overwhelmed with things. And then I would see you smiling and skipping out of a truck stop or out of Bucky's with a little goodie. something. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for lightening things up for us. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lonestar Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
And so I know you stay busy with your three children, Sophie, Grace, and Matthew. That's a lot.
Yeah, we did it right and graduated the ladies first. We graduated them and sent them off on their way. Sophia is living in Arizona. She just graduated college in I think it was business, and then Grace, she graduated and she's going for her master's. She lives in San Antonio now, and we just have Matthew at the house, and we try to spoil him as much as possible. And the kids, he's amazing as far as athletics goes. He's a quarterback on the football team, can play both ways, plays defense, plays offense. Was the point guard on his basketball team, ran track, did pole vault. I mean, he does everything that there is to do athletically. And for that reason, we were like, you know what, let's invest in this too. So we took him out to Louisiana this past weekend and over to the Manning Passing Academy, and he got to go out there and meet Peyton Manning and Eli Manning
Whoa.
and Cooper, and all the Manning family out there, and a bunch of college quarterbacks that were helping coach these kids up. And yeah, you got to learn a lot out there, and we actually had the opportunity to go out there and play a show so we could write it off.
That is so cool. And that's just so great to have parents that are so hands-on and engaging and encouraging. And so as you were growing up or getting into the business or at some point in your life, who was maybe somebody that was a big encourager in your life?
My family's always encouraged me pretty well. My mom, she's always said that she's always been honest. She'll tell me I like that song or I don't like that song, and she's been she hasn't fangirled out over anything, but she's always been the kind of the anchor that said, all right, yeah, you're doing pretty good here, and I'd probably change some words in that one. And then my sister, we lost her a little while back, but she was, for the longest time, she was the biggest fan of the music. And this is before I actually started standing on stages and actually doing anything. I was singing terribly back then, but she loved it. She, we'd be out there at a barbecue or a family gathering or something, and she'd be like, hey, play some songs. And I'd pull out the guitar and we'd do kind of the campfire thing. And whenever I'd start playing, she'd always yell at everybody, shut up, he's playing. And so she was awesome. We did a little tribute to her on the Doing It My Way album. Biggest fan was the song that we did for her. But aside from that, then Jamie she's always been in my quarter. She's the one that made it all start happening, and she's the one that keeps everything on the rails. So she used to be a teacher, and then she had stopped teaching and wasn't sure what she was going to do. And at that time, when I started doing music, she's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go learn all this music business stuff. And so she's been managing me and turning down other people that come to her to say, hey, can you help us? And I can only do one client at a time. Right now I live with one. So
That's true. That's true. Well, y'all make a great team and you're doing such a good job. So looking to the future, like oh gosh, any bucket list goals or venues that you have insights?
well, I see everybody's playing at the Opry, so I'd love to get out there, but I got to do one. I got to play in the French Quarter this past weekend. That was pretty cool. And that was just random. Some guys out there were there. We saw a band getting set up, and they were like, hey, the drummer says, hey man, when you come back, come stop in, come see us. And I was there, and he called me up. We did a couple songs, and it was a good time. But some other bucket list stuff, we got Green Hall. We'd like to go play. We'd like to do a band show, either opening or at least opening to start with over at Flores Country Store. There's some places we'd like to go. We'll look toward Billy Bob's later, but yeah, it's good stuff.
That is good stuff. That's a great list, and I know that you're consistent. You're out there all the time, and you're just fun to be around.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It wasn't always the way.
Well, we're looking forward to the continued success of Fire in Your Eyes, and then you're going to be following up. See, that's how you have a plan. Like, I like the plan. Y'all already got the plan for the next radio release to come out, and we'll be looking forward to that and some shows. So tell everyone where they can find you on social media and your streaming services.
Yeah, we everything is Chuck Weimer Music for the socials. So that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's where you'll be able to see all the gas station gift stuff. And then of course Chuck Weimer on streaming. Whatever local radio station that plays Texas country music. If you're not hearing me there, then you can always call them and ask them. They all have access to the music. And if you like the podcast, me and our Divine Fire Chief down the road, we co-host a podcast called Rhythm and Rescue. So we do that on YouTube and Facebook and I think Spotify, yeah, and then on StreamYard. So yeah.
Oh, hold up. So tell me more about that. Now, where are you based out of?
So we're in Lytle. We're a little bit south of San Antonio.
Okay.
Basically, we're between San Antonio and Divine, Texas, and we somehow we ended up becoming really good friends with the Divine Fire Chief. He had us come out there and play his Monte Carlo night last year, and they rebooked us to come do it again this year, which is the 27th, I think. Yeah, 27th. And from that point, we ended up becoming friends. And I was doing a different podcast, and then we kind of scrapped that one, and we brought him in as the co-host on the new one. And it combines the music side of Texas and the fire department side of everything. And we just talk. I mean, if anybody wants substance, that they're not going to get it there. It's like we're just two guys sitting there hanging out and talking.
Oh, that's a cool thing. I didn't know that. So I learned
Yeah,
something new.
it's funny. Dave
Yeah.
actually he tuned in. I guess he either tuned in this morning on the Facebook replay of it, or maybe he popped in last night. But he was talking to Jamie today about the how we're going to do the next record or the next single, or if we're done with this one and moving on to the next one. So that, of course, that's not my part, that's hers. But they were talking about that today, and he's like, yeah, and I was watching the podcast, and I tried to sign up to be a part of the giveaway, but I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, huh. So but yeah, it's Rhythm and Rescue, and they can find it on YouTube as one word, or they can just type it in. And it's got like a little fireman all dressed up in his in the fire suit that you'd see him running into a burning building in, but he's also holding the guitar, so it's pretty cool.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Leave it to you, Chuck. I love it. See, y'all, that's what I'm talking about. You just never know. That just always great things like that. Yeah, our fire department, of course, I live in a coastal town and live by the beach, and boy, our first responders and our yeah, we had some bad stuff happen this past weekend, and
Yeah.
and it's going into, of course, as we're recording this, we're going into the 4th of July holiday weekend, and those
Yeah.
those first responders are going to stay busy. God bless them. So yeah, it's been great visiting with you. And if I don't see you before, I know I'll see you in November, right?
Possibly. I got my name in the hat for there's this thing called Warrior Song that's out in Georgia, and it's veterans that go out and do some songwriting. And we were reached out to by Megan Murphy from that organization. She found me on TikTok somehow, and she said that it might be in my best interest to apply and see if we can get out there. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool, because that's an all expenses paid trip to go out there and just write with other folks. And so if
Oh,
that
that
happens,
sounds like
then
that's
I won't be there.
perfect.
But yeah,
That's
but
okay. Yeah, but that's
if it doesn't,
perfect for you. Yeah, that's a good thing for you.
yeah, it'd be a good time.
Yes. All right. Well, this has been a good time, and we'll be following along to see how everything goes, and just keep doing what you're doing. We love you, Chuck Weimer.
Oh, thank you so much. You guys have a great night and or day or whatever it is. I don't even know
Whatever
what
it
time
is.
it is. I see the
Right.
sunlight in the background for you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for having me on.